It's safe to say that Robert Pfeifle's legacy in Bethlehem is securely written. Although not a native of the city, this Bucks County transplant made quite an indelible mark upon his adopted city. Builder, banker, five-term mayor and father of public housing, Bob Pfeifle certainly led a full life. Born in Almont on April 14, 1880, Bob Pfeifle was the second of 8 children born to a carriage maker and his wife. Young Bob attended public schools. Upon the end of his formal education, Bob tried his hand at a variety of jobs including as a messenger boy, at a laundry, at a hosiery mill, and finally, learning the blacksmith trade. In 1899, at the age of 18, Bob took up carpentry and found work in Philadelphia. At this time, he also took up boxing. In 1902, he decided to go to Bethlehem. When asked why he chose Bethlehem, he recalled seeing the sign at the local train station and said to himself, "That's where Christ was born. I want to go there." By 1904, Bob met and married his wife, Gertrude Heller. He found work as a carpenter eventually with Benedict Burkle, who was the most prominent builder in South Bethlehem. By 1905, Bob started his own business. He developed a reputation for good work and for honesty. During the next 20 years, Bob built 600 homes, churches, theaters, banks and other structures. Eventually the Pfeifles welcomed 4 children into the world. Among Bob's other business interests were as president of the Tidlowy Pfeifle Men's Hosiery Mill in Wilkes-Barre, as president of the Bethlehem National Bank and of the Bethlehem Industrial Savings and Loan Association, and as a director of the Bethlehem Hotel Corporation. He was also a member of many business, service and social organizations, so that by the 1920s he was a very well-respected member of his community. Politically, Bob served the borough of South Bethlehem as a councilman. When the city of Bethlehem was formed in 1917, Bob became a city councilman under mayors Johnston and Eagle. But by the 20s, Bethlehem developed a reputation as capital of vice, illegal alcohol, narcotics and gambling. At the urging of his fellow citizens, Bob took the challenge of running against the incumbent, corrupt Mayor Eagle. In the Democrat primary, Bob beat Eagle handily and they won the general election by a wider margin. The new mayor lived up to his promise to clean up Bethlehem, and the housekeeping began by ousting the corrupt police chief. Bob appointed Frederick Trafford, a 43-year-old ordained minister, to the role of chief, guaranteeing that neither the mayor nor the chief could be corrupted. All businesses were warned that graft, bribery and other forms of corruption were a thing of the past.
All businesses were informed that graft, bribery, and the fining mills were a thing of the past, and that a new era had dawned in Bethlehem. The cleanup began in earnest, and soon prostitution, gambling, illegal stills, and other forms of vice were out. Despite numerous death threats, Bob Pfeifle persevered, and his city was on its way to becoming a decent, respectable place to live. If cleaning up his town were all Bob Pfeifle was known for, it would be enough. Bob is equally well known as the father of public housing in his city. Bob recognized the need for decent housing in Bethlehem, and as a result, he applied for and received the privilege to start a public housing charter, one of the very first in the state of Pennsylvania. Bob then became Bethlehem Housing Authority's first and only chairman, serving from 1937 until his death in 1958. Under his leadership, land was acquired, slums were cleared, and soon thousands of residents were afforded the opportunity to live in safe, decent, affordable homes. Many of these homes still stand today, and one community, Pfeifle Homes, honors the memory of Bob Pfeifle. During a public career spanning more than 6 decades, Bob Pfeifle cleaned up his city, was integral in providing a modern infrastructure, including today's water system. He provided affordable housing and managed the city through the stock market crash, the Great Depression, and World War II. For a generation of city residents, Bob Pfeifle was the only mayor they ever knew, having served 5 terms. Today we look back and we see that Robert Pfeifle was the right man for the right time in Bethlehem. His courageous, far-sighted, can-do leadership ensured that Bethlehem would become the successful city that it is today. This simple, straight-shooting son of a carriage maker has left a lasting legacy for his city.